So, you know, it's something that you don't have to really worry about. But again, to get back to that certification, nobody ever asks about, well, is the bamboo organic? Is the corn organic? Is the soy organic? And those are some of the most harmful crops that we grow in the world. And they're not concerned about that. So if you get the opportunity, you know, educate the people around you that the things that should be looked at are the ones we need to question. And really knowing the difference between, you know, the different levels of organic or sustainability. For example, in the textile world, hemp is considered what's called a bast fiber. And that includes hemp, flax, jute, and ramie. They're the most sustainable and the strongest fibers on earth. They also carry naturally adherent benefits, antibacterial, antifungal. You know, then your next levels down is where your organic cottons come in, because cotton is cotton. Whether it's organic or not, it's not going to have any kind of the adherent benefits to protect you. Being in the hemp industry, we don't want to annihilate cotton. A lot of our most popular blends are hemp organic cotton blends. It also, of course, keeps price points down, which also, of course, makes it to where everybody can afford it. The price of hemp has now, as far as the clothing and the textiles, has outbeat linens, silks, upholstery weights, and is coming very competitive to conventional cotton. We've outbeat organic cotton as well. A lot of the U.S. grown certified organic cotton. It's interesting because in the U.S. we have much different regulations than everywhere else in the world, and basically they are allowing farmers to grow and say it's organic so long as they're limiting the amount of chemicals they're putting on their crops. So it's not to say that those crops are completely organically grown. And also the term organic, we should really be focusing on for foods, because they can be. And as far as the product's concerned, how sustainable and biodegradable is that product to our earth? What did it require to bring to and bring from and bring back to the earth? And so that's something we're working on with the Hemp Industry Association. Is really, my goal is to haunt the U.S. labeling department for as long as it's going to take for them to listen, because a big problem is the U.S. labeling basically says if a product is majority something, you can call it that. Well, that's not going to cut it in the green world. You know, we want to know, is there 3% synthetic? Is there 10%? Is there 20%? What are we looking at here? Because if we've got a little bit of a better option, we might want to go with that, but we want to be able to determine for ourselves and have the honesty on that labeling. But so now what's happening is, of course, with this green movement booming as quickly as it did with such limited information out there, people are starting to realize a lot of these products that they thought were good indeed may not be as good as they thought. For example, bamboo textiles are processed just like viscose. You research the import codes, it's imported under the same harmonized codes as viscose. Synthetic rayons have been using wood-based pulp since day one, and now they're just changing the base. And that is the newest problem with the hemp industry, is there are small groups popping up now that are doing the same thing with hemp. So it's important to know the difference in how to tell between a true natural fiber and one of these quote-unquote natural synthetics, whatever that means, because that's what people are marketing as right now. And, you know, there are quite a few companies out there that have recently changed over their labeling, for example, on the bamboo and saying made from bamboo viscose. And that is wonderful because it's putting more information out there. It's allowing the consumer to really know, okay, well, it's bamboo. I might not even know what viscose is, but as they become more educated as a consumer, they're going to find later on that, well, at least this company was being honest with me. You know, and I can make the judgment call now, but what's important and some really easy ways to know the difference between those is anything that is just feeling so luscious and soft without you having to put it in the washer once or twice is probably not the true natural fiber. If you can say, gosh, you know, this feels like that rayon sweater that my girlfriend gave me 3 years ago for Christmas. I never really wore because it didn't breathe, and I was, you know, having to deal with washing or spritzing myself throughout the day. That's not a true natural fiber. You know, characteristics are that it's going to breathe, they're not going to develop the odors throughout the day, it's great for working, playing, whatever you want to do, and it's going to hold up. So, you know, the next time you're in the store, you're talking with some of your friends, let them know, hey, this is something that's going on, and if we're trying to support the honest product, we have to be sure of what we're buying. And, you know, it's happening every day, and again, hopefully the U.S. Labeling Department's going to listen to us on, you know, some of these new requirements that should be out there. For example, you know, with your hemp, now there's a natural hemp and there's a hemp viscose, you know, and it should be labeled as such. It really should. So, you know, again, there's just so much going on right now. There's currently 8 states that have legalized and over 20 that are on the ballot coming up this next year. We need all the support that we can get. Anybody who's interested in being involved, check out the display. There's pamphlets and information on how easy it is to get involved. And one thing I always like to remind everybody, and I'm sure everybody in the audience here are very conscious, I'm again in Boulder, so it's not my common group that I'm having to really go, get with the program, come on, do something. You guys are way ahead of the game here. But, you know, share with people that whether they decide to do something once a day, once a week, once a month, or once a year, it makes a difference. And everybody can play a major part in, you know, bringing our economy and our lifestyles into a sustainable way. And you don't have to sacrifice anything anymore to go green or to use hemp. A lot of people always say to me, oh, well, there's nothing my style, or it's itchy jute feeling type fabrics. And as you can see with some of the samples that I brought today, many of you may be familiar with these old Island hemp shirts that have been around for a long time. But this dress here is an example of a development that is 70% hemp and 30% piece silk. Piece silk is basically where we're waiting for the butterflies to release before they go in to harvest the cocoons. So, you know, that's of course a concern with a lot of our clients as well. And these products are everywhere. Some of you may have seen some of the recent projects I did. MTV's Pimp My Ride with the Impala, and Arnold Schwarzenegger showed up, and
runs off
whatever. What's that?
Runs off biodiesel too.
It does run off biodiesel. And since then I've had the pleasure to work with those guys a lot. We actually won some innovative awards at SEMA this last season. I actually also got to work with every top designer in the world, Ralph Lauren, Versace, Donna Karan, Dury, you name it, and we did a concept fashion show to launch New York Fashion Week last year, and it really proved to people that hemp is high fashion. You know, again, you don't have to sacrifice anything. The goal is something that we all learned in kindergarten. When the teacher said don't take more than one, we need to all learn how to do more with less. And you know, those people that say, well, I can't afford it, say, well, instead of having to buy 2 of those in the next 6 months, buy 1 of these. And you'll see that it holds up, and you'll see that you're making a difference too, because the more people we can get out there buying and supporting these products, the faster these prices are going to go down, what few are still over the price point of the normal mainstream products. So, you know, it's really important to think about what you're buying. A lot of people say, you know, there's only 3 times in your life that you spend big amounts of money. You know, your first car, your first house, and your wedding. And of course you see on TV and media everywhere now, everybody's building green, everybody's having green weddings. We're getting there with the automotive industry.